Okay, listen. I believe, and I'm going to watch the fight again. I don't know why I was doing that. I believe that Billy Joe Saunders may have or should be losing his WBO 160-pound title. He hasn't fought in damn near a year. What is it? Like 350 days or some old shit like that? He hasn't fought? Oh, the sound is freaking out on me. Let me see if it's the TV. Yeah, it's not me. But anyway, okay, this video is real time. So basically, the final bell just rang. I don't know what's happening. So Billy Joe is taking his gloves off. And when I say the reason why I feel that Wolverine, and I've been joking about the guy, but of course he's not the real Wolverine. He's not Hugh Jackman. But the point I'm trying to make is he just outworked Billy Joe. He outworked him. Now, something happened in round 8 where Billy Joe had like this big burst of energy where it just was like almost he clicked on and hit the switch and was like, okay, I'm going to get this guy out of here. And I thought he was going to come out that next round in round 9 like that, but he didn't. He went back to that low punch output again. And I don't, I can't explain it. And the bad part about it is he's been off for, as I said, about 350 or so days. And I think it's 348 or so days, and he's done nothing but talk shit about everybody. And it's like people have been anticipating your return because it's like, oh, this is Golovkin's potential next opponent, or this is Canelo's potential next opponent. Oh, the sound. But I got to listen to it. It's live for me. It's annoying. But listen, I'll
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecard. We have a unanimous decision. Judge Perez 116, 113. Judge Carter 116, 112. Judge Martinez 115, 113. The winner. And still.
Of course. Of course. He got the gift. Who got the envelope? We can't listen. I can't listen to this anymore. He got the gift. Boxing, Boxing. Wait, let's see what he got to say. He going to run his mouth.
Thank you everybody for coming out. Just like to invite someone else in the ring.
Okay, I wish the sound was better, but basically he said, he knows he can't be talking Golovkin after that performance, and he wants his belt, and he know that Golovkin wants his. But see, now Golden Boy may go hard at Billy Joe Saunders. Was like, oh shit, yeah, Canelo, let's get him and get him out of here and take his belt. So therefore, when we have to fight Golovkin because Canelo and he has to fight him, then he can say, well, we got this belt you want, so take this money, we can say you duck this. I already peep it. But, man, people going to be talking a lot of shit about Billy Joe. It just was, it was a bad performance. Nothing looked right. And the thing is, he looked in phenomenal shape, but, not being in that ring, for almost a year and being a champion, and now he gets no easy fights. It's either a unification or you fight whoever the mandatory is. And let me go see who the WBO man, which is likely nobody, if I remember. It's nobody of note, if I remember, unless they say, yo, okay, you got to fight Canelo. Because what happened is the WBO, which Canelo was champion at 154 and Billy Joe at 160, they already said they'll green light Canelo if he moves up to 160 to fight Billy Joe. So they may say, okay, Canelo has officially told us that he's moving to 160, so therefore he's your mandatory Billy Joe. You know, they've done some shady stuff before in the past, especially with Austin Trout and the whole Liam Smith situation, where Austin Trout magically disappeared or mysteriously disappeared from the rankings really quick. But let's go look at the WBO rankings. Let's see here, because I literally know it's nobody of note. You know, but off of that, I want to know how much money he made for that. And you know, it's a shame because, you know, it didn't happen with Kovalev versus Ward, but to be the champion, you got to beat the champion. And Billy Joe Saunders didn't do that. Let's see if the sound is better. Listen.
You know, a few adjustments to camp. Just flat, really, really flat. You know, I just didn't know what it was. I felt sharp on the pads, but I just got in there tonight, and from round one, I was throwing the jab, and it was like my arms on springs. It wasn't going out, it was coming back. I was thinking, liven up a little bit. He kept coming through with a couple of body shots, slowed me down a little bit, but just nothing at all there, really. And to be honest with you, I'm not running him down because he's come over it, but he shouldn't be going 6-7 rounds with me at all. I'd like to apologise to the fans, especially who paid for it. Terrible performance. I've called Golovkin out, but on that performance, I want to be embarrassed. I've got to go back, adjust proper, and New Year, I want a big fight to put that right, because that's not acceptable for my performance. That's not a World Championship performance at all.
So you're saying that there's no way on the back of that you can be saying, come on, give me Golovkin, you need another one first?
This is, I'm an honest man. Most British fighters perform better than that. There's more undercard fights tonight who will put a better performance into that, and I didn't even watch the undercard. That was terrible. But, listen, a win's a win. No matter how you win, I always find a way. I always said that. I will find a way. Whether I'm getting beat 11 rounds, I will find a way to get a win. It was a scrappy win, but, you know, that's what happens.
Bill, I have to ask you about Jimmy Tibbs, the fact that he's not here tonight, and he has been here right the way through your career until now. There are going to be those out there who say, well, if you get rid of somebody of that standard with that experience, that's what happens.
Yeah, most definitely. Look, you know, in boxing, you've got to do sometimes what you feel right's yourself. It may not be the right decision, it may be the right decision, but if you feel that yourself to make that adjustment, I mean, I'm not making no comment on Jimmy, because I've got to go back, when I go back after this fight, sit down, we've got to have a chat. But, you know, I'll sit down with him man to man. And
I'm not trying to put you on the spot,
no,
but, you know,
I
mean, it's the obvious thing to be saying.
Listen, it don't matter if I've got Jimmy Tibbs, Freddie Roach, you bring anybody you want back here, but Roberto Duran, that ain't going to help me in the corner tonight. It was just a dead performance from me. A dead performance. That's all I can put it to.
Francis, you're in the team who are going to be putting together where Billy goes from here. What do you make of it?
What, the performance tonight?
Well, the performance tonight, and also how that impacts on plans, because we've talked about Alvarez, we've talked about Golovkin, talked about Eubank again, you know, I mean, supposedly the big money offer there.
I mean, I think the first and foremost, tonight's performance, okay, it wasn't the best performance Billy Joe's ever put in, but, you know, that's 12 months out, you know, fights cancelled, injuries occurring, you know, and there's a few things outside of the ring that have happened as well. So, you know, to be able to realise after 6-7 rounds this isn't going right, and actually did step it up in rounds 8, 9 and 10 and did look very good and picked some lovely shots and did look good. So I think Bill's, you know, he's got a high standard of you know, where he wants his performances to be. Wasn't the best tonight, but he did recognise that he needed to pick it up. Now, you look back at Bill's performance last year against Andy Lee, it was top draw. So we all know what Billy Joe Saunders is capable of. So, you know, Golovkin's and Alvarez's and, you know, rematch with Eubank Jr. They are the next fights to be made for Billy Joe Saunders, because he is at that level. You know, I think, you know, I'm talking about Golovkin and Canelo. If Eubank Jr. wants to rematch, he's the one that's got to step up, because he's already got the win there. But he is an elite fighter, and he will prove that in his next fight, and it will be a big fight next year.
Just like to say, like, on that performance, my name should be mentioned. I'm not saying Eubanks, but along Golovkin and Canelo, because that there don't justify nothing. I stopped sparring for this fight about 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks out, for a certain reason. I was 5 weeks out, stopped sparring. You know, that may be an effect, but I'm not making no excuses.
Hands?
No hands. My hands was all right. You know, I always get sore hands. But a few adjustments I have to make to camp. There's no excuse. Terrible performance, and if I perform like that against any other elite fighter, I will not be world champion. I know now, I'm happy in a way, as happened there with him, than whether it happens with Golovkin or some other body else. Because now I can go back, put my finger on it, and adjust.
Billy, we respect your honesty.
Yeah.
Go away and enjoy your Christmas.
I would have.
And let's see the real Billy Joe Saunders back in the ring soon.
Thank you very much, Francis. Thank you.
Very honest assessment from.
You know, gotta be honest. At least he's humble. You know, and he's right. All for that. He can't be mentioned with Canelo and Golovkin, but he's a world champion. And it's crazy because I saw Gabriel Rosado last night, and I was already interviewing Jesse Hart, and I saw him, but he was over in family, so I was waiting for like the crowd or friends. I was waiting for the crowd to clear, and I was going to go over because I was going to ask him, well, what do you think about Billy Joe Saunders and Akavov? And I wanted to ask him, like, why didn't the fight go down, or what happened? And the Billy Joe Saunders tonight, even though Gabriel Rosado lost his fight and looked bad against Willie Monroe, I think that this Billy Joe Saunders would have lost to that Gabriel Rosado. That's how bad it was. It was bad. So, he's right, but now he's saying he's got to take another fight, and it's like, yo, bro, you a champion. You're not, looking at the rankings. Now, luckily for him, Frank Warren and the WBO are cool, so Frank Warren can do some maneuvering for him and say, well, listen, you got to fight Lou DiBella's other guy, because Akavov was a Lou DiBella guy. You got to fight DiBella's other guy, so he'd be cool since you won't give Akavov a rematch. Then fight Kurt Cedes, that 5-foot guy that handled, who was it? That prospect. I forgot his name. And then you got Tommy Langford, you got Murata, David Lemieux, but I wouldn't be surprised if he fights Saluki, or Rafael Bergeron, and then they probably give him some work. Billy Joe's in trouble, and then he's saying he having some issues in the camp, and I don't know who the hell a goddamn that corner man was, and then his promoter, I believe that's the son of Frank Warren, Francis Warren, was like, it was the injuries, then other things. What was those other things? So hey, hopefully he's not hanging out with Tyson Fury and Satan's powdered sugar. So let's hope he wasn't dabbling in that, and maybe he had to clean himself up, take a drug test. Hey, just allegations. I'm not saying any, I heard any of that. I'm just saying, I just want to know. I'm speculating. Well, what kind of things were you doing outside of the ring? Remember how Tyson Fury was trying to twist it up and kept postponing the fight with Klitschko for the rematch and not showing up? This makes me wonder, like, well, wait a minute, bro. But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. It's going to be interesting to see now what does this do for Canelo, and for Golovkin. And if you don't know, it's heavily rumored, and I should have put the video out before that damn Dan Rayfield announced it. But that Golovkin versus Danny Jacobs is done, and it's going to be like announced like around the beginning of the new year or something like that. I'm not saying it's confirmed or nothing like that. I'm not saying it's going to be announced on New Year's Day. No, I'm just saying I've heard that it's going to be announced somewhere, around that time. And the deal is done because they were actually getting ready to really, really go to purse bid. And it's going to be on HBO pay-per-view. So, I'm TstreeT Controversy. And it would be in March the 11th or the 10th, whichever falls on a Saturday. I am TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe. All the links to my social media are right down below in the description box.